What's happening, people? And once again, welcome back to youtube.com/CubCamTV for this, another edition of CUBREACTS in the lead up to the Christmas break. We are kind of slowing down a little bit on videos at the moment. As you can probably tell, we've been putting out maybe 4 or 5 a day for the best part of the last few months. But in this Christmas period, we're trying to rest up a little bit, recuperate, so we're ready to go in the new year. But when we see bangers land, we need to bring you the reactions as always. Today, we're getting into an artist who comes out of Zambia. Again, an area of the world that if you follow this channel, you'll know I have so much love and appreciation for. So many kind of cool artists and personalities coming out of Zambia at the moment. It's my absolute pleasure and privilege to be able to dive into so many of the sounds. This one coming to us from an artist and comedian who goes by the name Ndine and this track goes by the name Mwana Maningi. Again, I've been told nothing but good things about this one. Apparently the guy's quite young. He's only been in the game for a year or so, but apparently he's been putting out some bangers, so I'm excited to check this one out. This one is a sponsored video, so massive shouts out to each and every one of you who is supporting the channel. If you want to get involved, literally just hit that subscribe button and obviously leave your comments down below. That's the best way to get involved with the channel because that really does support us. Without further ado then, we're going to jump right into this one. Now let's see how it's sounding. Really nice breathy chords across the intro. Really like that chord instrument. So immediately on this, coming with some really energetic vocal patterns, Ndine is absolutely killing it with the introductory flows, the kind of approach that he's bringing. Again, that skippy kind of drum texture underneath is working really nicely as well. You've got this quite sort of GM sounding horn line. It sounds very kind of digitized, but it doesn't necessarily take away from the tune either. You've got these nice kind of bulbous chord sounds. I really don't want to know what that instrument is because they've got such like a kind of punchy texture to them, but they still kind of scatter and cover the overall texture of the tune really, really cleanly. This is sounding great so far. Loving the use of those 808s as well. There's some interesting bits in regards to the way that this has been kind of crafted as an overall composition. There's a lot of kind of breaks where the drums aren't super prominent. So far we've heard this tune, there's been elements where the drums have been the lead feature, and then either side of that you've got these kind of bridge sections where you've got, again, that kind of very GM sounding horde sound, those really nice kind of floating pad textures as well. And again, apologies for any language barriers, my actual translation ability is absolutely terrible, so I can just assess the vocal performance in regards to its kind of texture, timbre and rhythm, and I've got to say Ndine's killing it. I'm loving the approach. There are elements on this that almost sound a little bit like kind of maybe a slap D to me, and again, that's not trying to be too specific on the comparison, but you can hear similarities in the kind of cadences and the sort of structure in the vocals. Cool. That's really cool, that vocal. So yeah, there's a really kind of cool element of back and forth going on with this one between, again, that vocal line, which that vocal line sounds like it's actually following the pattern of a digital saxophone. That sounds like the sort of pattern you would create with a digital saxophone over an Afrobeat style tune. Then on top of that as well, you've got this really nice call and respond going on between that choral response and his lead vocal in there as well. Really nice use of 808s in the drums as well, just giving the whole thing this kind of bounce and prominence in the lower end. Really nice kind of booming bass notation going on with this one. Overall, the instrumentation and the arrangement's really, really fun. It's really cool, more than anything else.
Ndine mwana maningi ne bakamba, that's why ni bangono na banzanga tima menya whisky tiro la pona mishanga.
You see what I mean about these extended bridges, and it's a really good way, I feel. See, then the drums drop back. using these kind of extended bridges in the middle of a tune is a really good way, I feel, of just kind of making the impact of either a kind of chorus block or like a verse section. It just gives it more impact when those drums actually land. Nothing quite has as much, nothing generates impact like a sparseness of kind of punchiness prior to punchiness, and you can hear that with the way the drums are structured. The drums themselves are quite sort of party driven. They have this natural kind of punchy bounciness to them, and then on top of that as well, you can hear that lead vocal line, that that little vocal line there, really, really cool. Again, mimicking the kind of concept of GM instrumentation, which you do hear with the brass on this already. So overall, there's a lot of kind of mirroring themes going on, especially when you then layer in the call and respond elements. It's really cool. Thing to layer in. So there's a really nice kind of slap delay going on with this sort of post-hook bridge. That vocal melody, but you can hear there's a real kind of slap delay going on with the vocal, so it's kind of delaying and then coming straight back again. It's almost like it's kind of mirroring and then being shut off. It's a cool effect, and again, it just gives the vocal a different kind of texture and overall feel. And then obviously on top of that as well, that really cool whistle segment in the middle. I didn't expect to hear that. It definitely adds an element of liveness to it. It definitely gives it a kind of more organic feel, because a lot of the instrumentation on this, as I said before, is very digital. A lot of the vocals have a very digital kind of grounding to them. So then when you add those very natural textures in, such as a human whistle, you do then kind of get that more sort of organic sense back into the tune, which is always really important to do. I've really enjoyed this. I can't lie to you. I've loved the direction. I've loved the overall compositional value. It just feels like it's a tune that has like a direction and a purpose to it, which we always love to see.
That's why I started producing you, money, young kid.
Nice outro as well. There we go. The sounds of Ndine and Ma on this one, Mwana, Maningi. Overall, I really enjoyed this. Again, immediately, apologies for any language barriers that I'm unable to get past. Unfortunately, my brain just does not allow me to be any good at translating languages or just learning other languages. It's something that I've always tried to do. And in the last few years, I've just kind of gone, there's just not really much point trying because it just doesn't go in. But again, anyone who wants to kind of give me specific translations or anything along those lines, let me know in the comment section down below. But what I can talk about is Ndine's performance. I think his vocal performance on this is great. You can hear a lot of energy, a lot of direction. You can clearly hear a level of hunger in the performance as well. I'm loving the sort of skippy textures he dives in and out of as the tune progresses. I love the fact that that vocal gets taken and kind of reformatted and re-chopped into this, again, much more sort of digitalized, almost saxophone imitation, which works really well. Really nice use of bass instrumentation down below, especially those 808s kind of going boom, 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 just giving the whole thing this kind of bouncier bass texture. Then on top of that, again, that sort of almost digital sounding brass and those chord instrumentation pieces as well, just give it a really nice kind of floaty digital feel. So then when you layer in, as I said before, that whistle, it just gives it that kind of organic kind of sprinkling that pulls you back in. Really, really nice, man. Definitely an artist I'm going to be keeping an eye on, both in regards to music and sort of stand-up as well. It's always cool to see creatives doing more than one avenue. That's something I always do enjoy. So there we go. As always, friends, if you have enjoyed this video, do make sure you are getting involved by hitting that subscribe button on the right-hand side of the page. Of course, turning notifications on as well, leaving a like, leaving a comment, and all of that good stuff. And without further ado, we shall see you all next time. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and peace.
Sounding so good right now, but they're sounding a Brighton town.
Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel right now, CUBREACTS TV. Stay locked.